That feeling, right? That one task, it just sits there kind of glaring at you from your to-do list,
Oh, yeah.
maybe for days, maybe weeks. It could be that email you keep meaning to answer, or uh, a closet that's become, well, a bit scary,
Huh. I think we all have one of those.
or that big report deadline creeping up.
Yeah.
You know you should do it. You even want to get it done eventually,
Yeah.
but you just don't.
Mm-hmm. The avoidance stance.
Exactly. That sounds like, well, pretty much any day ending in
Yeah.
you are definitely not alone.
Not at all.
So this deep dive is all about that incredibly common, often really frustrating human thing, procrastination.
Yep.
We're going to peel back the layers today. We're going way beyond the usual, time management tips.
Right.
We want to dig into the deeper stuff, the psychology of why we put things off, and importantly, what we can actually do about it.
Yeah, our mission today really is to boil down the key insights from all this research you've shared. We want to figure out why we delay things, even when we know it's bad for us.
And find strategies that actually work.
Exactly. Find those research-backed ways to help us move from just thinking about doing something to, well, actually doing it.
Okay, so get ready. We've got some surprising facts, maybe some real aha moments coming up that should give you a shortcut to understanding this thing we all seem to do. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's unpack this. Procrastination. When we say that word, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, at its core, it's the act of delaying, putting off tasks.
Until the last minute.
Right, or sometimes even past their deadline. And here's the kicker. Even when we know, like, deep down, that this delay is going to cause problems, negative consequences.
It sounds simple, but it's not really just about being lazy or bad with time, is it?
No, not at all. That's where the research gets interesting. It suggests it's more of a failure in self-regulation.
Self-regulation, what do you mean?
Think about it. You're basically acting against your own best interests. Putting it off won't lead to a good outcome, maybe even a bad one, but you do it anyway.
So your actions aren't matching what you intend to do.
Precisely. That's the irrational part.
And it feels so universal. I mean, the numbers back that up.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common. Our sources mention nearly all college students admit to it.
Yeah, and 75% call themselves habitual procrastinators. 75%.
Wow.
So, if you find yourself scrolling through social media instead of tackling that big project,
Yeah.
you're definitely in good company. It's a
Yeah.
very common thing. Not usually, for most people, a sign of some, deep, serious problem.
Right. It's just human. So if we dig into the why,
Mm-hmm.
the psychology behind it, it's pretty fascinating.
Okay.
It seems to happen when our, let's call it the drive to delay, gets stronger, irrationally stronger than our drive to act.
Okay, like an internal tug of war. So what fuels the drive to act side?
Well, the drive to act relies on things like self-control, motivation. But if you're tired, really exhausted, or maybe the reward for doing the task is way off in the future, that drive gets weaker.
Makes sense. And the drive to delay, what's pushing that side?
That's almost always about wanting to feel better right now, in the short term.
Instant gratification.
Exactly. It could be avoiding negative feelings tied to the task, like fear, maybe boredom, uncertainty. Or it could be actively seeking positive feelings right now. The quick hit from checking your phone, watching a funny video, grabbing a snack.
That feeling of relief, almost.
Yes. It's often described as giving in to feel good now, even if it means feeling worse later.
That really clicks.
Yeah.
So it's less about a lack of willpower and more like this gap between knowing what's good for us and actually doing it.
Precisely. That leads to what researchers call intention-action gaps. You fully intend to do the thing.
You really mean to.
Yeah, but you just don't bridge that gap into action. And, this can become a cycle.
A vicious cycle.
Definitely. Like, imagine you're anxious about a big presentation, so you put it off.
Okay.
Maybe because you procrastinated, you don't do as well as you could have. That poor performance then ramps up your anxiety for the next presentation.
Which makes you even more likely to procrastinate next time.
Bingo. It's a self-feeding loop. More anxiety leads to more procrastination, leads to more anxiety.
Wow. We're basically setting our future selves up for pain just to avoid a little discomfort now. So, okay, what specific things feed this internal battle? What makes us choose delay?
Well, a big piece of the puzzle is our own minds playing tricks on us. Cognitive biases.
Biases, like how?
For instance, we consistently overestimate how much time we actually have. or
Right.
how motivated we think we'll be tomorrow or next week.
Oh, totally. I'll be way more productive tomorrow morning.
Right. And that connects to the planning fallacy. We just routinely underestimate how long tasks will really take, even if we've done similar tasks before and they took ages.
Guilty as charged, thinking you can write a whole paper the night before.
Exactly. And that other thought, I need to be in the right mood or the right frame of mind to start.
Yeah.
That's another classic mental trap that fuels procrastination.
Okay, what else?
Then there's a really powerful one called present bias.
Present bias.
Yeah, it's our tendency to just be way more motivated by what feels good right now, immediate gratification, than by rewards that are further down the line. So the instant comfort of, say, staying cozy in bed watching TV just feels so much more compelling in the moment
Same.
than the distant abstract reward of publishing that blog post that's actually really important for your career goals. Our brain just defaults to the now.
It prioritizes immediate feelings over future benefits.
Pretty much. And the research points to other biases too, like being overly optimistic, thinking things will go smoothly without issues, or pessimistic, assuming you'll fail anyway, so why bother? Or even just doing what everyone else does, the bandwagon effect.
So our thinking patterns can really trip us up. What about emotions? You mentioned feeling good now.
Huge factor. Emotional and mood-related reasons are massive drivers. We often put off unpleasant tasks simply to avoid feeling bad right now.
Like dodging that difficult phone call.
Exactly. Some call it mood repair or hedonistic delay, trying to fix our mood by avoiding the source of the bad feeling. This is especially true for tasks we find aversive.
Aversive.
And tasks we see as frustrating or boring, really monotonous, maybe uncertain, like that unpleasant phone call, or maybe tackling a really complex, ambiguous problem.
So it really boils down to avoiding discomfort.
A lot of the time, yes. Anxiety and fear are major culprits. Worrying about failing or being criticized or just facing the unknown.
Like checking your bank balance. Or waiting for feedback.
Precisely. Those things can feel threatening, so we avoid them, and then there's just feeling plain overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. Too many things on the list.
Exactly. Too much to do. You don't even know where to begin. That can lead to analysis paralysis or choice overload. You just freeze.
And perfectionism. That comes up a lot, too.
Absolutely. Sometimes people procrastinate because they're terrified of not doing it perfectly. The fear of making a mistake or not meeting their own impossibly high standards can be paralyzing. Or just an unwillingness to accept any flaws.
So it's not just about the task itself, but our feelings about the task or the outcome. Okay, now this next part I found really interesting. Connecting procrastination to wider mental health and personality stuff.
Right. And it's crucial to be clear here, as the sources emphasize, procrastination itself isn't classified as a mental illness.
But it can be linked or be a symptom.
Exactly. It can definitely be a characteristic or, a symptom of certain underlying conditions.
Like depression, for example.
Yes. If someone's struggling with depression, the feelings of hopelessness, that lack of energy, the self-doubt, that can make just starting a task feel monumental, almost impossible.
That makes sense. What about OCD?
Obsessive-compulsive disorder, yeah. The link there is often through what's called maladaptive perfectionism.
Yeah, adaptive perfectionism.
It's that intense, paralyzing fear of making any mistake, however small, or constant doubts about whether you're doing something correctly. It can make it incredibly hard to start or finish because the standard feels impossibly high. Indecision is also a big factor with OCD that links to procrastination.
Okay. And ADHD.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Yeah, a key feature there is difficulty initiating tasks, especially ones that aren't inherently interesting or stimulating. Getting started can be a huge hurdle due to distractibility and issues with executive function.
So these conditions can make procrastination much more likely or more severe.
Definitely highlights how complex it is. And on the flip side, personality plays a role too. People who tend not to procrastinate, they often score high on conscientiousness.
Which is one of the big 5 personality traits.
Exactly. It involves things like being organized, dependable, disciplined. People high in conscientiousness tend to show strong self-discipline, persistence, and a sense of personal responsibility.
And what about traits linked to procrastination?
Well, things like impulsivity, acting on urges without thinking, distractibility, low self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy. Believing you can actually do the thing.
Yeah, that belief in your own ability to succeed at tasks. If that's low, you're more likely to avoid trying. And also, low self-compassion, being really hard on yourself, seems to be linked too.
So beyond our thoughts and feelings and personalities, sometimes it just comes down to motivation or how much effort it takes.
That's another big piece, absolutely. Let's call them motivation, effort, and temporal factors.
Temporal, like time.
Exactly. So first, motivation. If a task doesn't seem valuable, if the outcome isn't rewarding, or if the reward is just too far off in the future, our motivation tanks.
Makes sense. Why bother if it doesn't matter or the payoff is ages away?
Right. And this ties into effort discounting. Basically, we're reluctant to put in physical or mental effort if we feel the effort itself outweighs the potential benefit.
We discount the value if it seems like too much hard work.
Pretty much. And here's a fascinating temporal idea: the disconnect from the future self.
Ooh, what's that?
It's like,
Yeah.
we almost view our future self as a different person. Someone else who will have to deal with the consequences of our present actions or inaction.
Future me's problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Future me will have more energy, more time, they'll handle it. This makes it easier to ignore delayed outcomes.
Because they don't feel real right now.
Precisely. This is called temporal discounting, or sometimes hyperbolic discounting. The further away a reward or consequence is, the less valuable or threatening it feels today.
Which explains why ordering that greasy pizza now feels way better than the healthy meal prep benefits I'll get tomorrow.
That's a perfect example. Even if you know you'll regret the pizza later, the immediate pleasure outweighs the future health benefit.
My future self is constantly annoyed with my present self, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, the sources mention habit and environment too.
Yeah, sometimes it's simpler. We might just be in the habit of waiting until the last minute. Or maybe we genuinely, if perhaps mistakenly, believe we work better under pressure.
The adrenaline rush.
Maybe. There's also just inertia. You know, an object at rest stays at rest. It's easier to keep not doing the task than to start.
Sure.
And then the environment itself. Is it full of distractions? Is it cluttered? Are the instructions for the task unclear? All those things can make it easier to just put it off.
And sometimes there are even deeper, maybe subconscious things, like self-handicapping.
Right, setting yourself up with an excuse in case you fail. Well, I only started it last night. Or sometimes procrastination can even be a subtle form of rebellion against perceived authority or expectations.
Wow, okay, so there are so many reasons why we might procrastinate. Does that mean there are different types of procrastinators?
That's a good question. The